Cruel crime.
She was murdered and put in a septic tank.
Just an hour up the road from West Palm Beach. A man from Florida,
just trying to help, protect freedom,
is among the volunteers heading to the Ukraine to fight. And strong words for President Putin.
A person that's now engaged himself in a conflict that he can't win.
From a South Florida lawmaker. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Good morning, South Florida. I'm Julian Davis.
And I'm Zitlali Salate. Today is Monday, March 7, 2022.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
A gruesome discovery providing the final clue to solving a murder mystery in Martin County. The woman who was killed is Cynthia Cole, but her friends called her Cindy.
She was last seen February 24th. Police initially questioned the man who had been working on renovations at her house. They searched his house after surveillance cameras spotted the victim getting out of his car. At his house, they found the top of the septic tank out of place.
She was murdered and put in a septic tank. Like, who does that to somebody? It's just not fair.
Police arrested 34-year-old Kyoki Demich on Friday and began digging in his yard that same day. Saturday morning, they found the remains of Cole's body.
Americans' military currently has no boots in the ground in Ukraine, but there are some Americans in the fight, including at least one from Florida. A small number of civilians have been seen flying themselves to the area and offering to help, even though they only speak English. The group of volunteer fighters, including a man named Mike that lives in Clearwater, spoke to a CNN crew near the border between Poland and Ukraine.
Can you tell me what it is you are doing here in Poland, very close to the border with Ukraine?
just trying to help, protect freedom.
A French-Canadian man and a man from the UK were also among the volunteers.
A third round of talks between Ukraine and Russia is scheduled for today, according to negotiators.
As CNN's John Lawrence reports, this comes as the UN says more than 1.5 million Ukrainians have fled the country in fear for their lives.
As Ukrainian National Police Special Forces join the military and even ordinary citizens to protect their country, President Volodymyr Zelensky accuses Russia of deliberate murder after the shelling of Ukrainian territories.
It seems it is not enough for the Russian troops. Not enough ruined destinies, crippled lives. They want to kill more.
Russia has fired around 600 missiles since the start of the invasion, according to a senior U.S. defense official, and has roughly 95% of its amassed combat power in Ukraine.
The aggressor's audacity is a clear signal to the West that sanctions imposed against Russia are not enough.
The Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights says more than 360 civilians have been killed since military action began.
My boyfriend died here. My aunt, my cousin, my grandmother, my sister's husband, and a friend that stayed with us.
And Western officials expect Russia will increase the strikes, putting the lives of more civilians at risk.
He can't win. He is now engaged in a conflict where he's either going to have a costly military victory followed by a costly occupation that he can't afford, or he's going to get caught in a long-term military quagmire.
On Sunday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced the House plans to pass $10 billion in emergency aid to Ukraine, adding that work is underway to ban Russian energy imports. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The city of Fort Lauderdale has fired its
As
police
Ukraine
chief for allegedly practicing a form of reverse discrimination. Fort Lauderdale city officials believe former Chief Larry Scirotto unfairly hired minority candidates. In one example, Chief Scirotto bypassed a white officer with 20 years of experience with 2 men of color. Investigators spoke to 21 witnesses, and the majority were dissatisfied with Scirotto's approach. Scirotto spoke out on the claims, and report is based on hearsay.
Today, a Florida woman wakes up to an unbelievable tragedy after the Atkins Avenue wildfire destroyed her family's home. It only took 40 minutes for the wildfire to destroy the family's home in Florida Panhandle while they weren't home. Lori Schumann and her husband Paul Schumann took a look at their home for the first time on Sunday to see what's left of it. Unfortunately, there was not much left to be saved.
Tearing down a Florida condo tower is one way to build up a big crowd.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
We come here every year. I mean, this is a big event.
After the South Beach Wine and Food Festival led to all that eating, South Florida needs to take a nap. Don't go away, Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Bill is a family man. He invests his money wisely and provides a good life for his children. Just one problem. He often opens emails from senders he doesn't know, and his computer is not password protected. One day, Bill checked his bank account and 94% of malware attacks originate from emails. Don't be like Bill. Take your cybersecurity seriously.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Feast on the Beach, the best in South Florida food and drink on display along our world-famous beach. Another year's South Beach Wine and Food Festival is in the books.
As the network's Claudia Morales reports, it's a collaboration of the Food Network and FIU.
South Florida is a summer destination and a culinary adventure for many. And this year opened its doors once again to food lovers so they can enjoy the South Florida Wine and Food Festival. Celebrating 21 years of continuous dedication, the festival showcased the talent of the most renowned chefs and culinary industry experts. The 4-day Star Festival hosted a variety of events: brunches, lunches, intimate dinners, wine seminars, and live cooking demonstrations served as an opportunity for the community to eat, drink, and get educated about the culinary industry. The Goya Foods Grand Tasting Village was among the public's favorite.
We come here every year. I mean, this is a big event, and to support FIU, first of all, and the local restaurants. But you know what? We learn about good restaurants that we didn't know about before by coming to South Beach Food Festival, and I think that's what it's all about.
During the celebration, all guests, talent, and working personnel were required to complete a digital health screening, including a negative COVID-19 test or a completed vaccination proof.
I think it's amazing. It's safe. I love how they have everybody uploading their information, their COVID information. It's so much fun. It feels good to have like some normalcy after everything that we've been through.
The festival has raised more than $31 million for the Chaplin School of Hospitality and Tourism Management at Florida International University. Reporting from South Beach, Claudia Morales for the South Florida Media Network.
After multiple delays, people in downtown Jacksonville were able to see the controlled implosion of an abandoned structure. The Berkman Plaza 2 building has only been partially completed and has been since completed since 2007. The implosion cost more than $1 million, and now the developer wants to build the tallest skyscraper in Jacksonville.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zitlali Solache.
And I'm Julian Davis. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.